Have you had a urinary tract infection? I don't think guys get them.
Guys don't really get them. Women get them though.
Right?
It is possible. I've heard of dudes getting UTIs. I've never heard one admitted out loud, but I know it is possible.
Has your wife ever gotten one? Probably. They fucking suck. Yeah.
I think every woman gets one.
Yeah. So like a lot of times they happen after sex. So I had sex with my ex-boyfriend like 4 days before he broke up with me. Maybe he broke up with me, and then like a week later I started showing symptoms. Went to the doctor. You usually get antibiotics, goes away very quickly. It did, then it came back. I had to go back for a different set of antibiotics. During this time, my health insurance went away, and I didn't know why, and I had to deal with this. So I was going to the ER and urgent care every time. It was like the most, and then all while dealing with this breakup. So it was like I was in so much pain, blah, blah, blah. They put me on 3 or 4 different antibiotics, and the doctor literally said, I don't know what's wrong with you. I had to go to a urologist like I'm a fucking 80-year-old man. And she was a woman. It was just kind of like going to a gynecologist, right? So she's examining me, and she goes, and I told this on Paul's podcast. She goes, oh, like why she's inside me. She's like, oh, Sarah. She goes, do you have very painful intercourse? And Marty goes, you should have said emotionally or physically. So I put that in the joke. Crushes, credit to him. Basically, I had a UTI. And when you have a UTI, like your whole body, like reacts to it, like, and seizes up. But then when you get rid of it, your body relaxes, and But she said your body never relaxed, and she goes, I swear to God, she goes, since Corona and COVID, I have seen an increase of women coming in with this problem because everyone is like doing this. It's like TMJ, but for your pussy, and people, you don't realize you're doing it. You don't realize you're doing it. Have you heard of TMJ before? You like do it in your, you don't realize. Yes. So I'm like, I don't think I'm doing that. She goes, you're doing it. And I was like, what is this called? And she's like, pelvic floor dysfunction. And I was like, no, it's not my pelvic floor. It's like my urethra. She goes, it's all connected down there. Everything's connected. It's a well-oiled machine. So I go, what do I do? Swear to God, she goes, 80% of the time I tell women that they're doing it. Then they realize they're doing it. Like, consciously, like they realize it, and then they're like, oh, okay, stop. I go, okay, what if that doesn't work? She goes, then we have to go to like medication. You put a little suppository of Valium that you take like this.
Real quick, Valium?
Valium, what did I say?
You said volume, like your volume on your remote control, like sound. Okay. Yeah.
Valium, right?
Valium, yes. You
Valium
got it.
Into your
vagina, yes. Yeah. Again, you're mouthing it. There's an audio thing going on.
I know, I'm sorry. I know. And it relaxes the inside of your pussy. And I go, what if that
sounds awful? I mean, that sounds awesome.
So then she goes, what if that doesn't work? And she goes, then it's very rare. You have to come back for physical therapy. And I go, what the fuck does that mean? She goes, someone's going to have to massage the inside of your vaginal muscles. And in the joke, I say, how do we skip to that step? And it just goes so well.
Of course. That's crazy.
But then I had somebody like comment on my Instagram, like, why do women always have to talk about their vaginas? I'm like, this is an experience that happened to me. Like, I listen to dudes talk about their small, big dicks all the time. Like, it's an experience that happened to me. It's unique. I've never heard of anybody doing it. It's not like I'm like, oh, fuck me. Oh. It's like a medical thing that I dealt with, and I, turned it into it being funny. So
no, by the way, screw any dudes who attack women for something like that. Also, there's context to these things. I did a joke once where someone's like, oh, more comedians talking about this. I'm like, yeah, but I'm doing a take that no one's ever done before. Yeah. I've never heard that. That's an education. I like that I love jokes that peel back layers, and you kept peeling back a layer to where the entire time you were telling them, like, well, what's next? And I was kind of trying to predict, and I'm like, so some professional fingerer is going to come in and finger bang you on the pro level, right? Like,
that's like your joke about your wife. Someone comes in every hour to
the delivery room joke, yeah.
No, but I did it, and a girl on a different lineup, a female comedian, came up to me and she goes, I have UTIs all the time, and now I think that's what I have. So thank you so much for like talking about it. And I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. Because it's technically like all in your head, but it's like also not, because you're doing it, but It's all this. I'm like, of course this would be happening to me right now, like with everything else going on, and I have to move, and like it's just like a fucking mess. But
and you're single, so the vagina's back open for business, and yet not really.
I haven't even masturbated since I got broken up with. I have no.
Really? That's
really.
why women are so different.
I know. I was having this conversation with a couple of male comics, and they were like, "I jerk off like 5 times a day. How can you do that?" I'm like,
if my wife left me, I would be masturbating before her car hit the corner. Like, that's just how different dudes are.
My wife